I feel like this looks like the title screen for a movie. Hi everybody, today I'm taking a look at the Limitless planner. This was sent to me by the people who make them. They reached out to me on Instagram. I had never even heard of this planner brand before, and so I was like, okay, as long as you're okay with me giving you my honest opinion of it. They're like, yep. I'm like, sweet, so go ahead and send it my way. This is different than ones I've seen. Like, this is a coil bound planner, but it is not like an Erin Condren size or an 8.5 by 11 size. It's a much smaller sized planner. This is an A5 sized wire bound planner. I guess they funded it on Kickstarter, and it's for sale on their website, Limitless Planner. It's currently on sale for $23.25, and you get free shipping in North America on orders over $75. That's just what I'm looking at the thing. So this is the actual planner itself, a weekly layout planner for 2019. So let's take a look at it. Now it's wire bound. It's like a wire O style binding, but much smaller. Just it's like a little bound notebook, which is kind of interesting. Now the covers are not laminated. They're this like soft matte kind of feeling shit. Like this side is kind of shiny, and then this side is a matte texture, which is interesting. It's got these pictures on the cover. So it is like a heavier duty cardstock, flexible but still bendy, like you could fold it if you wanted to. It does not tell me what the paper weight is of it, but I will test it later in the video. You have this front says Limitless 2019, and there's a spot, I'm assuming, for your name. Actually, this is a spot for your name, so maybe this could be like your word of the year or just a line there for decorations, I'm not sure. There's post-it notes telling you what to do. Like they left me post-it notes. This is very cute. Okay, this is how I plan and set goals. This gives you some information on the company and the system. The system is 3 steps: dream, plan, and then do. And so it gives you some information and some examples of how to work through each of these steps. I like how the examples look like they're basically a copied version of something somebody did in one of these. They're not like made all pretty. They actually just look like you photocopied somebody's stuff. That actually, I like that better than seeing something that's beautifully laid out, because this feels like you're looking inside somebody's brain, and I'm a voyeur. So that's the whole system and how you use it. So if this is something that you get down on, there's a lot of it for you to read and process. And if it's not, I generally don't often read things like this. I just sort of barrel forward, but I will reference this if I need to. Like when I did the power sheets, I spent more time looking at the helpful information because I needed some guidance to get through all of the work. But for regular planning, that's not really something I feel the need for. In doing the power sheets, it made me a little bit less of a cynical asshole when it comes to this stuff in the beginning. It just feels like it walks you through the process that they use when filling out this planner, in case that's what you want to use. So this is the beginning of that dream situation. This is the Limitless system. Your potential is limitless. List 3 to 5 of your proudest accomplishments. How are you doing presently? If you could do anything without failure, what would you want to have, be, or do? What goal would you like to achieve in the next quarter and year? Why? What obstacles can you see? What can you do to overcome them? What are some milestones between now and your end goal? What are some habits you can develop to achieve your goal, and other notes? And one thing I will say about this is that there's a very, very faint dot grid background. It's like all this is typed on here, and behind it is a dot grid that covers the whole page. This is an interesting set of questions. You know, I can get down on this. I will note though that there is a typo in this sentence here. If you could do anything without failure, what would want to have? So there's a typo there. Just saying. Point it out because I noticed it. Ooh, more post-its. You also get overwhelmed with habit tracking. I like this. Okay. Allow me to be a bit of a narcissist here by saying I also get overwhelmed with habit tracking. That's something I've talked about in my recent videos. That means that this person, Dylan, watched my videos and made notes based on some things that I was already thinking in other videos. And I appreciate that because it shows that when they sent this to me, they really wanted me to look at it, not just some rando to look at it who happens to have people following them. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that touch. I often get, it says here, I also get overwhelmed habit tracking. Hopefully this is an approach you may like because it simplifies it to only one thing. So basically you have a whole year at a glance here, and you can just like cross things off on the days, like if you want to track one thing, or like for example, my pain tracker. If I wanted to track it here, I could just highlight over the days with each of the different colors, and that's super cool. And as with the other situation, there's a dot grid here. What this kind of feels like, and maybe the binding here threw me off. But what this is already starting to feel like to me is a pre-printed bullet journal style planner. Like, it's not following the Ryder Carroll bullet journaling situation completely. A lot of these things seem to be geared towards the stuff that some people like to draw in their bullet journals, and that's interesting to me, especially with the dot grid as a background. This looks like it's more of the dreaming part. Be present, be grateful. How did your past month quarter go? What are some highlights? What was your main goal for the month quarter? What is your current status? What is going well? What do you need to work on? What are you excited to do or achieve in the next month quarter? What habit can you focus on developing to achieve this goal? Other notes. It looks like these pages are the same prompts, and there's 4 of them here. On the website it says you get quarterly review pages. I'm assuming these are the quarterly review pages because they're asking about how your month or quarter went. So they're all in the front as opposed to interspersed throughout the planner, and the same dot grid. I'm just gonna assume that the dot grid is behind every page. I'll tell you if it's not. Let's put it that way. Otherwise assume it is, because it's faint, so you probably can't see it on camera. Now here is important dates in 2019, another year at a glance calendar, but it's split up a little bit more and it gives you dates here. These are not US federal holidays. These might be Canadian holidays because Boxing Day's on here, Canada Day's on here. You also have room to write your own important dates. So if you want to write birthdays or holidays you celebrate if they're not included on here, and it brings you through April of 2020. Here are some brainstorming pages, it looks like, or like plain note pages, 2 full spreads of those, and then we get into January. The dot grid on this page is only right here. It's not up here and it's not on the calendar section. So there's a quote up here. It has the same holidays on it and it's a nice monthly spread. Pretty standard. Room here with a dot grid. Some room to decorate. I like how the text on here is dark, but it's not like so thick that it's in your face, so you can see it, but it's not intense like my neighbor's chainsaw is, if you can hear that in the background. But they've been working on this fucking shed for the last 2 months and I can't seem to film without it being in one of them. I know you didn't like time tracking, but I feel like this helped me a lot. So if you're willing to try 1 more week, let me know how it goes. I like these Post-its. So this is your weekly layout, and it is an hourly layout. It goes from 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. through 8 a.m. if you work nights, because there's no A or P on it. It's a Sunday start. It gives you the same amount of space for each day, and then this whole section here is dot grid. Month at a glance. I like that it has the whole week and each day has its own amount of space. I like all of this extra room for note taking. This would be very conducive if you were doing like a bullet journal style planning in this, that you'd have a lot more space to work with. I don't know how I would do with this slim of a space to write in, especially since it's only for 1 hour. That might be hard for me to deal with, but if you don't need the half hours or as much space, this could work really well for you. Now, once you get through the month, you have 2 more spreads of blank pages with the dot grid, and then you get into your next month. So that basically looks like the monthly situation. And each quote in the month is different. So in the back here, you actually have 4 spreads, so 8 total note pages at the end of December, and then you have this situation here, Kickstarter backers thanks guide. So all of these people who are on this page, like in the background, are people who helped. That's a really cool touch. They're people who backed the planner when they first started, and that's the end of the planner. So I'm gonna do a pen test really quick, and I'm gonna do it here in the back on one of these notes pages. I have the 3 kinds of pens I usually pen test with: a gel pen, this is the Target Gel Roller, a fine liner, this is the Bic Intensity, and a dual brush marker Tombow. I'm heavy-handed, PS. So looking at the back, there is a little bit of ghosting, but not too much. A little bit of shadowing. I get a little bit of braille with the fine liner and a little bit more with the gel, although I did have to go over the gel twice because my pen was not starting for some reason. The one that shadows the most is the dual brush pen, but none of them really shadow all that much. The paper is fairly decent. It's white, it's not super bright white. There's a bit of a grayish cast to it. It leans more white than say cream, the way that like a Lois Termer Scribbles That Matter does. So what do I think of this planner? If I was going to recommend a planner that was like a pre-printed Bujo style planner, I think I would recommend like it's not a bullet journal. I know that pre-printed bullet journals really aren't a thing, but like a planner that would be like an introduction to maybe attempting bullet journaling, but where there was already some structure. I feel like this one is pretty good in that capacity. The Scribbles That Matter bullet planner also has a lot of things kind of similar to this that I like and that I think are interesting, although there were things in both of these like aesthetically that I wasn't huge on. This one being a little less arty, a little less froofy than the other one. But the thing I like about this one is that you get space to do the things, but then you get more blank space. You get this extra space on each week. You get 4 notes pages every month, and then you get extra notes pages in the back, plus all of the stuff in the front of the planner. It gives you some flexibility to maybe start trying bullet journaling, kinda, but with a little bit of structure so that you don't have to draw it all in yourself. And I do appreciate that. If you are used to buying like a bound notebook, like Scribbles That Matter or something like that, when you get this, you might feel a little disappointed because the binding itself and the cover feels cheaper, maybe is the best way to put it. Like, I don't want to be harsh. It doesn't suck. This feels like something that might have been made and like bound for you at Staples. Like the actual planner itself, I really like, but in terms of production style, I feel like it leaves a little bit of something to be desired for somebody who likes a more sturdy planner. I would love to see how this develops. Like, I know it was a Kickstarter funded project, so as time goes on and like production methods get tweaked and, you know, new runs get, because I've seen like somebody like Rebecca Wright and the Wright Planner Company, as she has like continued her business, her production quality has just gotten better with time. And I can imagine this one is the same. But I'm intrigued by the concept, and as somebody who's bitched a lot about a lot of frou-frou shit in planners, this one doesn't have that. So if you're looking for something this size to mess with that doesn't have a lot of like cutesy bells and whistles, it just gets you right to it, this might be the one for you. I would be excited to see this in like a bound version or a little bit more substantial in terms of the outside, but the paper quality is decent. He gave me a discount code if you want to order one of these. Cindy Rocks, all caps, at limitlessplanner.com. It's a 10% discount. I do not get compensated. It's not an affiliate link. It's just a code for you guys if you want it. I appreciate them sending this to me. I love the notes. I appreciate the thought behind this as well. That was really, really cool. Let me know in the comments if there are planners you would like me to take a look at. I am going to be taking a break from planner reviews for about a month because I will be doing a Plan As You Go month next month. How many times can I say month in one sentence? But I'll give me some time to accumulate some more right before the mid-year planner boom. Take a break. I'm actually going to pass this on to my husband. I actually think he would really like this. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.